Hello, Cosmos. It's the little planet known as Anthony Moseley floating around the sun. Any other interstellar human planets in the orbit? I welcome you to the show. There they come. Yeah, my co-host.
Yeah, we made it, baby. We landed.
We're back.
Here we go. Show number 11 episode.
Season 2, episode 1. Here we go. Are we ready? Are we connected?
I think we are.
Yeah.
Hey, Dani, you ready to do this?
Absolutely.
All right. I am Anthony Moseley, Collaborations Artistic Director.
And I'm Dr. Marcus Robinson, Collaborations Executive Director.
And I am Dani, writer, director, actor, political comedian, and rising junior at Columbia College.
Yeah. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 1 of Crucial Connections, Collaborations Weekly, hyper-local, thinking global, online space that dismantle oppression of all forms and lift each other up. And that's what we're going to do tonight. We're on a little break. We're back from a little break, and we're excited to move forward with our new format with one show per month.
And each show will feature a crucial commission in which we pay an artist to create a share. I am excited to be the first ever crucial commission. More on that, more to come on that.
Yeah. And Zoom guests can join us here in the June conference live. Hello, everybody. And share your thoughts and questions by signing up for a ticket in advance, while others can watch the live stream on Facebook, YouTube Live, and Twitch. And you can go back and watch the first 10 shows from the first season and all of the individual segments on our YouTube page, and you can subscribe to that too.
This program on Collaborations Together Network is made possible by the support from our sponsors, AV Chicago, the Mark and Jeannie Malnati Family Foundation, the Joseph and Bessie Feinberg Foundation, and people like you who can make a one-time donation at collaboration.org or can sign up to be a monthly contributor.
Yeah, that's right. We've launched a matching gift campaign called Transcendence to raise a total of $100,000 to ensure that Collaboration survives this pandemic by creating this platform and other things. The Feinberg Foundation and the Malnati Foundation have agreed to match our first $50,000 raised. And so far, we've raised a whopping $31,549, which is 63% of our goal. And please contribute if you can at collaboration.org.
Your donation also supports our 24th season, which we're calling Transcendence, with the Together Network programming like The Light, our Chicago Youth Virtual Theater Festival, which will be on August 22nd. You're going to meet some of the artists tonight. Becoming, our Unlearning White Supremacy workshop every other Tuesday at 6 o'clock. The next one will be August 4th. And the 5th annual Peace Book Festival, coming to a computer or a phone near you this fall.
But now, on this week's show, we'll be exploring artists, activists of the light with Chicago youth activist Antwon Funches, Aria Mallare, and Luis Crespo, the director of our youth programming. But
first, we're going to talk to Dani. So here to talk about her thoughts on the election is tonight's co-host, Dani.
Hi, Anthony. As an undocumented person, I have a lot of feelings about the election.
I bet you do. Tell us about them.
Yeah, 4 years ago, everyone was saying, oh, Trump is never going to be president. He called Mexicans rapists. He said he could shoot people on Fifth Avenue. He is a moron. Well, That moron took office as president, and 2 years later, I was in jail, and children seeking asylum were in cages.
So, Dani, are you nervous?
Well, yeah, a little bit. Like, you know that feeling of when a drunk lion is chasing you? Well, I've been feeling like that since 2007. But it definitely became worse when Trump became president.
Well, since you can't vote, right? What will you do?
Well, maybe I'll run for president myself.
What?
Well,
Right?
yeah, I know.
Why
I
not?
can't. I know, I'm too young to be president. Look, the point is, people tend to take the election as a joke, like that guy Kanye West that decided to run for president as a joke. That's not funny. If you want to be joking around, do it the old-fashioned way. You know, throw water on someone that is sleeping or something like that. I don't know. And if you want to be the joke yourself, just become a TikToker, okay?
So, what can people do, Dani?
Well, definitely vote and do it seriously, you know? The election will decide the future of a lot of people, myself included. So please vote like a drunken lion is chasing you.
Dani, thank you so much for your insights and for being our first ever Crucial Commission. Let's continue on, shall we? We got a show ahead of us.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's my pleasure to welcome to the show Aria Mallare, Antwon Funches, and Luis Crespo, all critical parts of our upcoming The Light Youth Theater Festival, which has been adapted to video and will premiere August 22nd. Let's bring them into the Zoom, and I think we have a special clip to share.
Land where my fathers died, that cry swelled in the breeze, flying half-mast over the land of the free. Red for the blood unjustly spilt, slaughtered like sacrifices to this nation we've built. White for the men born free in this land, white knees on the neck of an innocent man.
Who you take from? Slave labor through the nation. Y'all ain't got food deserts. Fiji water for hydration. Flint's pipe still polluted. Court case convoluted. Melted pot hot and brewing. Grease pot spark a movement. Taste merchandise, spice colonized, history uprooted.
Wow,
That's something.
that looked pretty cool.
I love those pieces, man. I wish I could have seen it all.
Welcome to the show, Antwon, Aria, and Luis. That was cool to see a little sneak peek of the light. We made a pivot and went virtual here on the Together Network. Luis, can you tell us a little bit about the light and the work that we're doing at collaboration with young people? And we'll let you lead the conversation with our amazing three youth artist activists.
What's up? What's up? Yeah, my pleasure. The Light Youth Festival. It is a collection of 10 original pieces written and performed by youth from around the city. We like to think of them as rising stars because, goodness gracious, if you kind of get a little bit of an inkling of the feel from what you heard from Dani in her piece today, from Aria Mallare in that little snippet you got from her right now, and from Antwon, you will be it will be a great thing for you to be a part of. So you should share your time with us on August 22nd because it is only an inkling of what you can expect on that evening. We've got a lot of great stuff happening in our youth programming. We've got some summer programming that we've got going in the moment. And right now it is wonderful to have some of our light performers in that programming as well, and to see some of the transitioning and the growth is wonderful, and it's I like to hear a little bit about the pieces you guys have are we're going to see on the 22nd. But I'm just curious, Aria, Danny, and Antwon, feel free to answer any of you guys in whatever order you'd like. How has this transition been into a virtual world for you as a young person and a young artist?
Does anybody else want to go first?
I can
Go for it, Antwon.
Go for it.
Well, we lost your volume.
What's up, Antwon? We can't hear you too well. Danny, did you want to say something?
Yeah, sure.
Bam, go for it. Antwon, we'll
I'll
get to
begin.
you. Let's hear what you got to say, Miss Mauleon.
Absolutely. Well, it was definitely just like a weird transition from from a live audience to like make it a video, but it's been awesome. It's really been a learning experience. Just like the cameras and all of it has been great. I loved it, at least.
All right, you're liking the camera on you, Danny?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about Columbia College? You mentioned you're going to Columbia College.
Yeah, I will be joining Columbia this fall for a program in comedy.
Bam, what's up?
Yeah.
Awesome. That's
Yes.
wonderful. Alrighty, what's up? Aria and Twan, you want to say anything else, Miss Danny?
I think I will let Antwon and Aria speak.
All right, cool. Antwon, Aria?
Yeah. The transition to online has been pretty easy for me. I do a lot of like music work on my laptop.
Hold up, Antwon. We can hear you a little bit, so this is actually a good thing to kind of show a bit of your awesomeness. Give us your projecting performance voice, because we're having some audio stuff, but that is absolutely nothing that can stop us from hearing you. So just give us a little more volume, just because we're having these technical difficulties. But what's up? Let's hear what you got to say.
Transition to like working online has been pretty easy for me. I do a lot of work on my laptop with music, or a lot of work with videos and photography. So it's been very easy to edit from home, or no matter what projects I'm working on.
Okay, so it hasn't been too, it's almost been a weird natural transition for you?
Yeah, it's been a bit, because I graduated around the same time. So it was like the same time that I got a lot of free time to work on my art. I was suddenly in the house with a lot of resources to work on my art. So for me, the last few months, finding income has been hard, but the actual art making process has been a lot easier.
All right, so in a weird way, a lot of folks are being like, well, how can we get creative in these circumstances? And it's actually forcing us innately just to be creative with the way we want to sort of share our art. So it's kind of weird that you went into graduation into this odd transition into the new world. What's up? However we call it. All right, Aria, what do you like to share?
Yeah, I think that I have very mixed feelings about the transition from the real world onto the online world. Initially, I found it pretty nice. I got to wake up later for all of my classes. I felt like I had a more flexible schedule, but then I encountered working with the light. And I thought doing my piece would be easy. I just have to say my piece in front of a camera. And then you realize you get a lot of your energy from other people, and having that replaced with a one-dimensional screen is really, it changes the way you feel about the piece and your connection with the piece.
Could you guys all tell us a little bit about your pieces? What can an audience expect? What are you sharing with the world in your piece?
Yeah, so I'll start. I had planned a stand-up piece for the light for an audience, and since we couldn't do that, I decided to turn it into kind of like a late night show kind of thing, like a desk piece. I've always been interested in that kind of stuff. I like political comedy, so I saw the opportunity and I took it for sure.
And what do you explore in your piece?
I do immigration, which undocumented immigration. I think that's important to say that it's not just immigration as a whole, undocumented immigration.
What's up? So it's kind of interesting you guys bringing up just the transition into a virtual space and even that connection with like human beings, and there's no replacement. A screen cannot replace that. How was it kind of coming into the space and having an opportunity to actually find a pocket of time where you were able to come in? Was it a weird transition for you? I'd like to point out that we had a wonderful, excellent team and staff that was working alongside our youth and making sure that our space was safe and under the protocols under these new bizarre times. So one of the things is we wanted to make sure the young folks were safe because it's kind of bizarre, but we can't stop. We got to create. So how did you guys feel coming to the space to record your pieces when just leaving your house can be a dangerous thing? Well, that's an interesting thing, you know. I think this pandemic and being locked in has made us realize that there are different things out there looking and possibly waiting to take a life. And unfortunately, we've got this virus that is linking us all together in a bizarre way, and it's forcing us to look under the microscope a little bit. So how did you guys feel kind of leaving home, coming to the space to share some important work that is potently talking about some awesome stuff? That was a long-winded question. I'm sorry. That question went on for like 12 minutes. I'm sorry. But how did it feel leaving home to come to the space and share awesome work?
And tell us about your piece too. I don't think people know what Aria or Antwon's pieces are about as well. Aria, tell us about the piece and your experience making it.
So I am the writer and performer of I Too America. I took inspiration from Langston Hughes' I Too, which talks about the long process that Black people and people of color have taken just to have a seat at the table, a seat that we still don't have today. And then that piece is actually a response to Walt Whitman's piece, I Hear America Singing. And so thinking about that, my piece is kind of a response to both of those pieces. So I go through not just singing America, but also crying America and dreaming America and what it means to really believe in America. Not just be American, but what does it mean as Americans? What do we stand for? What do we live for? And how can we live with ourselves knowing that the country that we have built up doesn't do justice to all the people who it's born. And so, yeah, I think the effects of the pandemic really hit when I walked into the Pentagon Theater. I always imagined myself performing, center stage, spotlight in front of a room full of people. That is what I perform for. I love seeing people's faces. It gives me the momentum I need to carry on through my piece. And then you step on the stage and everything that's in front of you is just darkness. There's a camera looking square at you and then these bright lights. And I think that it just makes the art feel so synthetic. It's very artificial. I said before, one-dimensional. And I don't know, it makes you feel kind of distant from everyone. I feel like art is meant to be shared. And I know that it's still being shared, but it's shared in a different and less personal way.
Yeah, we all miss being in the room together. Antwon, tell us about your piece.
My piece is called Perceptions. Perceptions analyzes the psychology of perpetrators of racial profiling. So yeah, just you see a Black person, what is the first things that you think of? Do you instinctively feel fear? Do you feel anger? Do you feel discomfort? It just analyzes that. It talks about my experience with that and my friend group's experience with it. Coming to collaboration to film, in my last semester of college, we had an on-camera class, but the on-camera class was mostly through Zoom. So it was like webcam. So like that same lifeless, not being able to be around people, I felt a bit of that. But being on stage in front of the collaboration cameras felt like a good opportunity to practice like on-camera acting. So yeah, as much as like I definitely missed the audience, I definitely missed the crowd. It was a good opportunity to see how I could play with tempo, how I could play. What's my energy doing the piece? What energies am I trying to make the people in the audience feel? It made me focus on me more.
And what do you guys think right now? We're in the midst of a great cycle of change. What do you want people to know about the youth of Chicago and the youth of our country, and what would you like to see happen as we are in this incredible moment?
I think it's really interesting. Again, I like to see things from a political standpoint, and I think it's really interesting to see how, the current government is not only not paying attention to us, but they're also just kind of hurting us, like the police is and all of that, just seeing all of that violence. I just wish people would stop seeing us and like change as bad, but they would just join in. I think we have to stop resisting change.
Yeah. I really appreciate you putting that out there like that. We named the Youth Theater Festival The Light with the thought that young people, vibrant and brilliant as you are the future, and they can light the way to show us how to live better. If you could give advice to old folks like me about how to support you in making a better world, tell me what to do. Any of you, please, all of you.
I would want you to listen to me, and I would want you to take me seriously. Right now, I think that the youth of America are watching, and we're listening, and we're remembering everything that our country is doing in this time of crisis, in this time of need, in this time of injustice. And in terms of what I want to see and change, I think of a line from Hamilton, where Angelica says, "You want a revolution, I want a revelation." And that is what I want to see from this movement, from this revolution. I want to see a revelation where you see me as an equal, where you see my cousins and my brothers and my sisters as equals, and I want you to build that into this country. I think that all the issues that we have in this country, they're foundational, they're institutional, they're systemic, and so in order to see change, what we need to do is dismantle that system, but we can't dismantle the system until we dismantle the people, or their minds at least.
Damn, what's up? Aria, what's up? That is a wonderful voice of the youth.
I'd love to hear from Antwon and Dani on that question.
Yeah, I think I would say give youth the benefit of the doubt. I've met a lot of adults who really assume like we're not going through a lot of problems, when it's like the youth that I know are dealing with the same medical, psychological, physical issues as a lot of the adults, or worse than a lot of the adults that I know. And they're still managing to move forward and carry that weight, especially during these current times. So I would say the benefit of the doubt that we are human and dealing with the same different intense struggles. Other than that, I think listening to youth before listening to the media is very easy for news sources to alter what may happen at an event, what may happen at a protest, and firsthand accounts are always necessary to listen to. Firsthand accounts, that's the biggest thing, I think, listening to firsthand accounts.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Dani, you got a word for me? I'm trying to be better.
Yeah, I definitely agree with Aria and Antoine that I would like for adults to listen to the youth a lot more as we are bringing new ideas. I mean, we've seen that things right now are not going great, and we want to try our own ideals and see if maybe that makes it better. We're definitely being more vocal about it. We don't want the world to be like that, like this anymore. So, I mean, I guess if just like take us more serious and not just disregard us as young as not knowing, you know, what's going on.
Got it. Thank you. Thank you.
And now here we are in Chicago, you know, with federal troops coming to town and an election in November, and it seems like things are getting more and more conflict, more pressure. What are you all doing to find peace and relax and center yourself? What would you recommend to other young people as far as to how to, find some space away from all the things we read in the news and that are happening around us all the time?
I would say focus on what you can control. It's very easy to look at the news and see everything exploding and to get very anxious and to get very upset. I think it's important to remember that you can only control you and your action. You can control if you uplift another person in your household. You can control if you wash your face or your workout routine. You can control how you uplift yourself, and through uplifting yourself, you can uplift others. So yeah, I would say focus on what you can control.
Thank you.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful advice. Thank you. What's up?
Yeah. Well, for me, as we said earlier, that I am an undocumented person. To me, it's always scary when they announce that they're going to send like federal troops. Like, this is not the first time that it has happened that Homeland Security announces they're going to send federal for either for immigration or for like this kind of stuff. That for me is always scary. I feel very tiny and I feel very not protected. Um, but I try to just like take it one day at a time. I try to not, like Antoine said, not try to control things that I can't control. That always helps for me. And just like taking it to my art, writing is always helpful for me. Just like putting my thoughts together and putting it on paper always helps.
Yeah. So, Danny, I would say to you, Homeland Security sent them out, for the so-called undocumented of us. But this next crew's coming for the rest of us, baby. So, let's keep watch for each other and protect each other and support each other and staying out of harm's way. Yeah, you bet. Thanks. There's so I'm some of you are doing the school thing, and I'm wondering if you have any thoughts about, and you got siblings too, I'm sure. What do y'all think about this COVID thing and going back to college and dorms and school and high school and all of that? I mean, what's going on with all this? What are y'all feeling about that?
So I am a rising senior at Whitney M. Young Magnet High School.
Yeah, go get it.
The plan for this year is that, or at least the current plan, is that juniors and seniors will be staying home while everyone under, all the lower classmen and the 7th and 8th graders will be going to school for in-person classes 4 out of 5 days a week, with Wednesdays being all school cleaning days. So, yeah. And so, but what the school is thinking is that just for the first quarter, so the first 10 weeks of school, no one is going to be in the school. It'll just be online learning. It's going to be interesting to meet all of my teachers and all of my new classmates through a screen. You definitely lose a lot of the individualized time between students and teachers. I don't know if I like it.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Others,
Because
what other thoughts there?
I think like growing up in Chicago public schools, I remember a lot of protests. I remember a lot of defunding. I mean, as I reflect on like my educational experience, I see politics draining a lot of that and cutting a lot of that. Yeah, I feel like I had a very fragmented education, especially with Corona coming in at the end of college. So this isn't that different, like just a fragmented education. I'm not in school anymore. I have younger cousins and younger siblings who are still in school.
Mm-hmm.
From what I heard, like, yeah, a similar plan to Whitney Young. They're gonna eventually let some students back in. I think it's unwise. I think it's a pandemic and a virus is spreading. We will see what happens. I'm gonna do my best to help homeschool my family as much as I can.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
For me, I am a first generation college student, and it's my first year at Columbia. I'm about to join them in the fall, and I was ecstatic. I was like, it's the dream, and what comes with that dream is like going to their building, to their campus, and like studying there. And that was always my dream, and it's definitely been kind of sad to have to see. We're gonna take hybrid classes, so we will take some classes in person and some online. But I wouldn't want to risk professors or other staff just for my dream. If it has to be online, I'm okay with that. I wouldn't want anyone to like get sick, because it could be pretty bad, you know.
Got it.
We have a question from Fredo in the chat, and it is this: directly from the students' mouths, do they feel safer with or without the armed police in the school? Do you want them out of the schools? How do you feel about armed police in the schools?
Yeah, I don't like it. It's scary. I don't think arms in schools go well.
Mhm.
I feel like that's
Guns in schools don't mix.
Mm-mm.
Go ahead, Aria.
I
Please.
feel like we're already in a very anxiety-inducing climate, even with just test taking, not to mention everything that's going on beyond school. And adding extra security is just going to add on to that environment when we already are. My school doesn't even have a full-time nurse. We don't have enough counselors for all the students that we have, and you want to add more guns. It doesn't add up to me. I do think that we need to have security in schools. I'm not against that.
Yeah, what she said, what they said, really, like, no, don't feel safe. Yeah, I think that police generally don't. Yeah, I saw a post that was like police don't stop crime. They come after a crime has already occurred, and that I think is a really good point. Especially being Black on the South Side of Chicago, you get like a lot of neglect from police, and I don't think it would be very different in schools. I think guards, police, armed humans will choose when they want to enforce a rule. They would choose what situation, on whom, and it will create bias, violence. And I don't see any way for this. In many cases, these will probably be the same police or security guards who these students have seen and been abused by at protests. So it's like I don't see what's the logic in that. That makes school more of a prison.
You know, there's probably some young people watching this right now, and they're looking at the three of you two, and the three of you, and they're saying, wow, these young artists are creating original work, sharing it. Can you give us any insights into your creative process, how you go from like an assignment or a proposal or an idea to an actual stage? You know, how do you figure out what you want to say? How do you actually go about creating it? And any advice you have for other young people that want to be doing what you're doing, which is sharing their voice.
Yeah, I think advice number one is don't be scared, and don't be scared of sharing your work and your words. They are important, they matter. Always share them. And as to how I come up with my work, I think it's a process. I mean, I like to begin with an outline of the ideas that I have that I want to put into the specific piece, and from there I create a draft, and I leave it for like a day or two, and then I go back to it and I work on it again, and I go creating drafts like that until I feel completely comfortable with it.
Adding on to what Dani said, you have a voice for a reason. You have a brain for a reason. If you have just the slightest idea, if you have the slightest idea, you are called to write it down. You are called to speak on it. Even if you think like it's insignificant, it's not. Someone needs to hear it. Someone needs to read it. Someone needs to understand it. In terms of how I come up with my work, if I need to say something and I feel like I have something on my heart, I get my notepad and I get my pen and I just wait until the moon comes out, and then the first line that comes, I act on that.
A great quote, two great quotes I heard. The first was something along the lines of, you are the biggest person to censor yourself. You have thousands of thoughts a day that you could write down, that you can make into an art piece. But the moment that you tell yourself that that's dumb and that doesn't work is the moment that that art ceases to exist, and it's censored and it's forgotten. So it's always important to write as much as down as possible, to create your art and to create art in a moment. And a secondary quote when it comes to fear, I forgot who said it, but it's something along the lines of like, if you don't talk about your pain, your oppressors will say you enjoyed it. Yeah, something along the lines of that. And it's just, if you don't articulate the ways that you are hurting and being harmed, and the emotions that you are feeling, those responsible for that will write stories, narratives, and histories about how you enjoyed it. So yeah, you have to speak with you. You have to.
I'm curious what you guys think about Hamilton. It's now on Disney Plus. More people were able to see it. I know I wasn't able to afford a ticket. If you've seen Hamilton, what do you think about it? The music is amazing, but there are a bunch of other questions about the way it's been presented, how it dealt with history. I'm so curious to hear what you think, if you have an opinion.
I've been listening to the Hamilton soundtrack since I was in 5th grade. It is something that I have been obsessed with all my life, and it was really instrumental in pushing me to start writing, pushing me to start using my voice as an activist against social injustice. Lin-Manuel Miranda is just one of my hugest inspirations. When I was 15, I had the chance to see it, not with the original cast, but I got to see it in Chicago. And it was just one of the most amazing things in my life. I quoted it before, you want a revolution, I want a revelation. There's so many things that have just been quoted and used in this new movement, well, not this new movement, in this Black Lives movement. And I think if you watch it, you'll see what it really means for America, what America is built on, and what it is meant to do for its people. Just looking at the cast, looking at the music, and looking at everything that Lin has everything that he has poured into it, it's just amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, I actually. Oh, go ahead.
Me? I didn't have like any big. No, I didn't. I was just gonna say I didn't really have anything. Go right ahead.
Oh, I think Marcus wants to say something.
That's all good. I just wanted to make sure that everybody had a chance to talk. I hadn't heard from Luis in a little bit, so I thought I would take the mic and put it over there.
Yeah, I had a
I
question.
got nothing to say.
Luis,
Like I'm actually awestruck by the profound words that are coming out from these three people. It's wonderful, and hopefully our adults that have been viewing are doing something that they asked, which was to listen, and not only listen to what they're saying, but how they're saying it, and the tremendous leadership that we're seeing right in front of us. I don't have anything to say. It's wonderful hearing you talk and hearing you reflect on things that are going on. So
Say that, yeah.
it's you guys rock. It is wonderful. It's beautiful, and it's a great segue to get people to really come watch the show. You know, come see this piece that Aria's talking about. Come see the humor that Dani is creating out of pain. Come see the profound artistry and mastery that Antwon uses when he's using his word. It's profound. So we really, really, really are thankful that you guys were able to join us today and keep talking. I can hear you talk more, you know, and it's wonderful to hear your process and how you got to be where you are now. And is there anything you guys would like to share with us out here, whether that's something you're working towards, something that you're very excited about, something that you're passionately pursuing? Is there something that you guys want to share with us? Anything else? My God, you share so much already.
Yeah, I wonder what your next projects are. What are you thinking about working on, or what are you going to work on?
Right now in Collaborations Teen Ensemble, I'm working on a piece called Sesame Street for Grown-Ups, G is for Gentrification. I laid out the groundwork for it yesterday. I like it a lot. It's something that I'll definitely be working on in the next couple of weeks. But it's just about what happens when Sesame Street gets gentrified.
What's up? It's it's a remarkable piece that Aria came up with. And it's really speaking to a lot of great subject matter. And if you want to check it out, August 13th and 14th, you'll get an opportunity to check it out. And she'll be showcasing that piece. And if the stars align like they should, you'll see Sesame Street, G for Gentrification, somehow, some way materialize, because it's an awesome concept and idea. What's up? Any other projects, Dani, Antwon?
Yeah, I'm currently working on my on a full length stand-up comedy piece, a full hour.
What's up? Do you like Chappelle at all?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Great.
What's up? Yeah, well, you got the fun research. You just watch comedy, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What's up?
My
That's
mom is
awesome,
like,
man.
"What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm doing work. What do you mean?"
The new Hannibal Buress comedy special is on YouTube. It's pretty great. Have you seen that, Dani?
I haven't, but I will watch it soon.
It's pretty good. Antwon, what do you got cooking?
Yeah, I'm a music, theater, and visual artist. If you have an Instagram, you can follow me on Funches_Antwon. You can go to my website, antwonfunches.com. I also have a newsletter that helps communicate it more effectively. But yeah, I try to make at least one song a month. I'll regularly upload photography to the YouTube, and whenever I have theater or spoken word pieces, I try to do self-tapes. So Instagram or the website.
I wonder if any of you want to maybe drop a little sample of something on us right now. A few bars. Anybody? No.
I can do it. I can go ahead.
What's up?
You can go ahead. Go on, boy.
Let's put Antwon on the speaker view. Let's give him the microphone.
I'll just do the first few seconds of Perceptions.
Great.
I'm At Target, tank top do-rag, biceps look like workout ad. White lady turn rounds, gasp, jump when we make eye contact. She say sorry, does the dash. Used to it, I don't react. Off to college class, professors stay on my back, questioning intelligence. Crack jokes at our expense. Black girl, black backdrop, you're blending in. Tell department director, they lecture. University diversity, insert Martin Luther King. Son, it seems the staff's just ignorant. And yeah.
Yeah.
Snaps, baby, snaps.
You know, I love putting people on the spot. That's awesome. What about you, Aria? You want to drop? Dani already gave us a little taste of her comedic genius. You want to drop a couple bars for us?
I could do the first stanza of I to America. That's what I got right
Let's
now.
do it. Yeah, please. Give her the speaker view.
I too sing America. That song of heartbreak murmured as we watched another body lowered into that ground. That stolen ground, built up by stolen people. That song sung through clenched teeth as another body walks the streets, wondering how much farther until it comes face to face with death. Wondering how much farther until these hands go up, until these legs break into and run, another body filled with holes. Another body that has never been whole, only a 3/5 compromise. Just another chalk outline or maybe an inmate ID number. Just another hole in the ground, sowed with the seeds of that strange fruit and watered in that heavenly sunshine. That promise of freedom at last. And for these seeds growing in revolution, I too sing, my voice ringing like Liberty bells, rewriting that old Patriots anthem and summoning that sweet freedom with every note. That sweet freedom song, ringing from every mountainside in the smoothest legato, waiting for America to join the choir.
What's up? What's up?
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you all so much for coming on tonight and continuing to share your voice and your work. And, you know, Louise, thank you so much for the incredible job that you've done in committing your life to cultivate youth artists and make sure that they have a platform to be heard. We hope that folks will tune in on August 22nd, get a ticket and bring the whole family and get ready for these videos that are going to be premiered and that then will be available through a new subscription model on the Together Network. Keep it up, guys and gals and folks. And thank you again for sharing your voice and reminding us to listen and not be afraid of change. So we're going to move.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Marcus.
I was going to say, yeah, I was really moved by Aria's piece. You know, it's just, and what Antwon Funches said, you know, as we come to a close here, as we kind of look at what, you know, what's next for us and boosting some of our community partners. I just, you know, when she said that song, I could hear, you know, America the Beautiful, like in the back of it, like if only if it could be that beautiful, especially seen from the eyes of the young people here that we had on the show tonight. Oh my God, what a wonderful world that would be.
Well, before we know it, they'll be our age and they'll go on YouTube and they'll watch this video in 20, 30 years from now and they'll remember this moment. And I know that they'll still be putting their voice out there and still listening to the youth. So thank you all for joining us. Have a great night and let's get the world to get ready for the light on August 22nd.
All right.
Continuing on, Dani, you know what time it is.
Yes. So it's time for our last segment, and our last segment is a signal boost to spotlight people and groups who are doing great things to bring us together. This week's boost goes to Lawndale students attending Village Leadership Academy who have been protesting for years to change the name of Douglas Park in their neighborhood. As stated in their change.org petition. We are a 7th grade class at Village Leadership Academy, a social justice school located in the South Loop. Over the past 4 years, we have been working on our campaign to change the name of Douglas Park in North Lawndale to honor Frederick Douglass instead of slaveholder Stephen Douglas. Well, after 4 years, the Park District had a special meeting yesterday, and it looks like the name will be changed. Village Leadership Academy students, way to go! We celebrate your successful, sustained efforts.
Wow, that's great. Frederick Douglass Park. I want to go there.
Ann Douglas, Frederick's wife. Actually, it's also named after. It's Frederick and Ann Douglas. And then here we are, the youth, once again, showing us the power of protest and consistency, and just a really cool thing for that group of young people and for the whole city to follow their lead. And we're actually in touch with the Village Leadership Academy, and we hope to find a way to connect with them. If you haven't, in the chat here is the change.org petition. We should just get that number as high as we possibly can. Luke, if you could drop that on the Facebook live stream and the YouTube live stream, that would be great as well. Wow. What a show, huh?
Yeah. That's our 11th episode, baby. Look at that.
Dani, thank you so much for co-hosting with us and being our crucial commission and then being a panelist. You're a natural for the camera. Keep on doing what you do, and don't forget about us guys with gray beards, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
We'll be back on the 3rd Thursday of every month starting in August, and we're going to be, taking on big subjects that intersect and dismantle oppression of all forms. I hope to see you on August 20th.
Absolutely. We want to say thanks again to our sponsors, and if you want to see more program like this, please consider a donation of any amount to collaboraction.org or become a monthly contributor for as little as $5 a month. We'd love to get a bunch of those and have all of you have an opportunity to help make our city and our community and our nation a better place to live for every one of us.
Well, that's our show. Thank you for joining us on Crucial Connections, where we're hyper-local, thinking global. I'd like to give Dani the final word. Dani, what do you want to tell the people of Earth before we sign off here?
I want to thank everyone for joining us today, and I want to wish you to have a good night and a good rest of your week, which is only tomorrow.
That's right. Do what she said, and be kind to one another. Let's really take this moment to love each other and accept each other for who we are. Thank you for being crucially connected to us, Dani and Marcus. Thank you, Louise, Antwon, Aria. Of course, we got to thank Parker and Sarah and Luca and Emmy for putting this all together. We'll see you in a month. Peace.
Peace.
Dani, do that.